There are other ways of determining whether or not your document's corrupt, but in order to do so, you need to kind of know what you're doing with Word. And this is one of the templates which I'm working on for a client. I built this about a year or so ago, and we've updated the template a couple of times, and they've also asked me to update it again. However, I've just noticed some things wrong with the template, and rolling back to like the previous version, these problems didn't exist. So what they've actually done is they've introduced some corruption into the document. And the clear thing for me here is when I look at the tables, and then it was this particular one here, just called iTable header. In the initial template there was only one table, custom table. Now there's 4. And if I modify the table style, I can see that we're using Cambria font. Now I never use Cambria font, and they certainly don't have any place in this template, this document. And it was actually some of the comments by one of their team who actually pointed out that this font is now in use in the document, and it's quite simply it shouldn't be. However, I can't get rid of the font, and that's what's basically telling me that it's corrupt. If I, on a Windows computer, if you click on the drop down arrow here and then you click on the apply styles box, okay, then it will tell you what the actual style is in use. And everything in Word has a style. And if I click down here where it says footer grey and I click on modify, I click here where it says footer grey. Now I look at the font on my home ribbon and I can see that it's showing Cambria font. However, when I go into the style, we should be using Arial body. And the first thing I'll do is I'll just copy that style name. Is basically I want to remove all formatting. And here's the button on the ribbon, so I remove all formatting. So it's got no formatting whatsoever in this text, or it should go back to the default text of which in Word is normal. However, as you can see, it's still Cambria, and that's the problem. If I do modify, I can see it's Cambria here. If I reapply the style, then it's gone back, it's adopted some of the characteristics like font size 6, centralized in this particular color here. However, it's clearly not Arial. So that tells me that there's corruption in the document because I cannot get rid of this Cambria font. Similarly with this copyright over on the side here, because we've got tables, or we've got layered tables in this particular template, it's quite difficult to access. But now I've got this copyright information, and again, if I modify, I see that it's Arial formatting. However, up on the tab here, it's on Cambria. So if I change that to if I change that to something else, then and then reapply the style, it's going straight back to Cambria. So that tells me now that there's corruption in the document. Again, you need to know a little bit about Word, how your documents and your templates are actually set up to be able to identify that, but that's the way you do it.